video, we're going to take a look at two different multicultural approaches that can be used in a classroom with diverse learning. The first approach is called cultural relativism. Now, this approach is the acceptance of other cultures besides just the one that you are familiar with or the one that you live in and you live in your own home. So the point of this approach is to really gain knowledge about other cultures after you gain knowledge about your own culture. So I'd become very knowledgeable about my own culture, where I'm from, how I live, and then I would try to look outside of my own culture and understand the cultures that maybe I may encounter at school or out in the grocery store. And that's trying to gain a perspective on the other culture and really giving other cultures a sense of validity and importance while not forgetting your own culture. So you're expanding your knowledge about the cultures around you, and that is kind of similar to the next approach, which is multiculturalism. And now this is when you incorporate two or more cultures, and that it really comes into play when, if we're at home, we may live one way, important to our culture, but then whenever we do go to our friend's house, we may try to incorporate some of their culture. So we're trying to, I guess, incorporate, we're trying to be like a chameleon and kind of fit in where we are. Now, the oppressed groups may be forced into multiculturalism because if they're going to a predominantly white school, if an African American student, they may feel forced to kind of adapt to the white culture. Now, a lot of white middle-class students are kind of non-cultural because they're never really forced to learn about other cultures or adapt to other cultural settings. The cool thing about multiculturalism is that it kind of allows one student or one person to choose which culture best fits them, and they can live, based on how they're feeling, their values are, and where they feel like they really fit in. And it's important that teachers try to prevent cultural borders in the classroom and embrace the diversity, because there are going to be many different cultures in a classroom, and we want to promote acceptance among the students. Now, if you take a look in the middle of this Venn diagram, you'll see there are three big similarities between these two approaches. First of all, we are wanting students to function effectively and comfortably within a second culture. So with both of these, we want them to be, I guess, okay with other cultures and not be afraid of them, and to really try to explore them and see what they have to offer. That brings me to my next point, that we want them to embrace diversity and understand that all of the kids in our classroom may come from different backgrounds, and we want to really make everybody feel special and everybody feel important and embrace that we're all different. And finally, both of these approaches encourage students to interact with other cultures and not just live within their own culture and be comfortable with that, but to really get out there and not be afraid to explore the differences that other people may have and why they have those differences, how we can embrace them and make everyone feel included. The teacher with both of these concepts is helping students about their own culture as well as their peers' culture. And I feel like we can do both of these approaches in the classroom, and it's very important because we want all of our students to feel like they are accepted and that they belong. And I don't believe that that's going to be possible unless we really make them feel like where they come from is important. And also it's going to help us better understand maybe some ways that they learn and some reasons that they learn certain ways. So very important for us and our students.